Welcome to a guide to new mods on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. It's Wednesday the 10th of April and we have more new mods out. I think we've got, how many we've got today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new mods out today. I'm going to start at the front here. This is the Fleagle TPS 180 low deck. This is by TSModding. I did think initially, actually, when I saw it in the Modhub, that it might be like a low loader because it said low deck. It's a normal trailer, but obviously it's a little bit lower to the ground than some of the other ones that are in game. Very nicely detailed straps. Lots, actually, quite a lot. I think it's designed with things like pallets and stuff in mind, because the straps are so close together. You know, there's nothing worse than getting a trailer, putting pallets on to transport them, and then finding you put it right between where the straps are, which often happens. It's just the way it goes. Right, this will use up 7 slots if you're on console. If you're on PC, don't worry, it's not relevant. We'll have a look in store under, I think it might just, we'll try Bale trailers. I think it might be Bale trailers. I can't remember where I found it initially. Let's scroll across. I think it is. There we go. The TPS 180. It's 15,000 to buy. Like I said, 7 slots. I know it says 1 there. That's because I've already got one and placed it in the game. We've got a few options available, which is always nice. We always like a few options, don't we? Main colour, that's for the deck itself. Now I went for the metal, which I think is kind of standard on, but if you wanted to have a kind of spray painted deck, if you wanted to, so that does the kind of metal parts, the main deck. Scroll across. Rim colour, obviously, you know, go for whatever you like. Something really garish that makes it stand out, but that's your rim colour. Okay, so down to design colour, and design I think does kind of the outer edging. So if we do that, say, I don't know, red, just something that stands out so you can see all the different colours. So the main deck part is the yellow, the green is the rim colour, and then the red is the edging around the outside. Then wheel setup, you've got these standard ones. I can't actually zoom in any closer than that. We can zoom back out, but can't get any closer. We can have standards or wides, and the wides gives you a nice bit of depth to that. And I think when I did mine with the black, it just kind of gives it a nice, I suppose silver and stuff will work as well. But anyway, those are the options available. When we hook it up, what should I grab? Let's grab the New Holland. I've got a few things set up here ready to go. One of the things that I have been at fault is not doing, when I'm hooking trailers and stuff up, not showing the cable hookups and things like that. So if I disconnect it, like so, the wedges go onto the rear wheels just there. As soon as I hook it up, those wedges are stored. So the wedges get stored and the leg goes up, so they're put in there, and the cables that were along the side here are nicely inserted in the back where they should be. Very neat, very tidy. Again, textures and things like the galvanised steel and those things really stand out. It's a nice tidy mod. I like it. At the end of the day, it does exactly what it says on the tin. It's, you know, it's designed for transporting things. You can do the straps individually, or you can do it from in cab, R1 and R3. We'll do them on and off. And that is the Fleagle TPS 180 low deck. Moving on, the next of our trailers today is the Lizard TR10 round bale trailer. This is by Not Ready. I know we've got auto load trailers and those kind of things for round bales and square bales and whatnot. Every now and again, I know on FS17 we had a few of these knocking about, and these were kind of the ones that on FS17. A lot of them were homemade bale trailer type things. This is part of the Lizard Neo pack. There's been the Neo, like cultivator, plough, and the roller pack. Well, this is part of that with the bright lime green and black, and it says on there Lizard Neo just in there. I like this. It's an interesting design. I like the fact you can put the bales at the front here. You've got this up and over bit that goes over the axles. I must admit, when I first saw this again, this was one of those ones I thought, oh, I wonder if it lowers down or not. But that's the height you get it at, and that's the height it stays at. Now that obviously is going to require manual loading. It's not an auto loader, but it's cool. I know often it says 10 bales because obviously you can get, you know, it should be 5 on each side. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, it doesn't say 10 bales. It's the TR10. That's weird, isn't it? It's the TR10. We'll have a look at it. This will be under baling technology as well, won't it? The TR10. Hang on. Oh, right, so it's the TR10 round bale trailer, but it doesn't actually say how many bales it can transport. I think it's 12, but yeah, 1 there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6 the other side is 12. However, what you'll always find is if you put 2 there, you can probably get 1 on top. You put 2 there, you'll get 1 on top. So you've taken that from a 12 to a, what's that, 16, and then maybe you could get another 1 on top, and you know, people will fiddle around. They'll get a ton of them on. They really will. Again, cables attaching very neatly. It's got straps that you can do individually, which will strap over. Generally speaking, will strap over the bales it's intended to. And if you're lucky, if you do overstack them, sometimes you'll get them that will strap over multiple, but it might not for definite. And without spending however long loading it up with, you know, 14, 16, 18 bales, I'm not too sure. But it's a nice looking mod. You know, not a lot of people like doing manual loading. I don't mind it every now and again on a Let's Play, and it's something a bit different. It's a different design. You get quite a few more bales on that. Yeah, very cool indeed. That will set you back 4 slots, that's all. A mere 4 slots for that trailer, and again you can do your straps from inside R1 and R3 all on, all off, or you can do them individually yourself should you choose to do so. That's by Not Ready. Very cool bit of kit. Next trailer, actually turn lights off, don't need those on. Next trailer. Actually, before I do the trailer, because I've realised I've got one of these little bollard things in the way, we have got the traffic warning signs pack. This is by ShabaFS. We did have a cone pack in FS17 that had a few different bollards and cones and those kind of things. These are 1 slot each to place. Price wise, I didn't say, did I say how much that trailer was? That was 17,500, wasn't it? You probably saw it when we were in the Modhub, but I do apologise. Let me just go back to that one. So I talked about how many bales and didn't say how much the actual trailer cost. How very remiss of me. Yeah, 17,500. There are no options to change anything on it. It is what it is. But yeah, 17,500. Sorry about that. Right. So yeah, we've got these longer kind of barriers, these more kind of stick bollards here, and then we've got through here cones. Now obviously they're named slightly differently in the Modhub. They are 1 slot each to place. We'll have a look at the prices, and then we'll have a bit of a kind of look at. Sometimes these, when you place them before on FS17, you couldn't then sell them again, or you know, they were a little bit tricky. But these actually aren't too bad. If we go across to, now I thought these would be under decoration, but they're actually in miscellaneous. I think I've got that the right way around. I'm sure they were. If we scroll across, there we go. First one there. So what I would call a cone is a pylon. That's 20 pounds, euros or dollars. The barrier is 30 and the pole is 10. Placing them is just as simple as placing anything you would normally place. What I do like is, and this is going to depend obviously on the placeables you're putting them around, but you can get fairly close to placeables. It's going to depend what I assume the sort of base layer of that placeable may be, but then you just place them wherever you want them. Now the difference with these is the bollards, the stick bollards here, no option comes up to lift them, so once they're placed, that's it, that's where they stay. Now, as you can see, I've got quite close to the base on this one, kind of protect the corners type thing. The larger barriers, you get the hand come up, but you can't pick them up. So again, a kind of protective barrier. You know, I'm already in my head thinking of Let's Play ideas for using these. So yeah, watch this space. But the cones you can pick up and you can move. So you can place them wherever you want, put them back down again. Now I always remember on 17, putting them back down could be a tricky business, because what would often happen is as you put them down, they would flick all over the place. But obviously now in FS19, because we've got the ability to manipulate and maneuver the cones, placing them becomes a lot easier, because we can actually kind of get them in exactly the position we need to put them down, and then when we let go of it, I haven't noticed yet them flicking off anywhere. But if you want to sell them, again on FS17, and I keep referring back to it, if you have never played FS17, it's going to be irrelevant to you, but that's my kind of frame of reference. Sometimes these things you could place but then you couldn't get rid of, which became a bit of an issue. There have been some placeables on FS19 that have done the same thing, but if you want to get rid of them, if I go to garage and now just pick whichever one, click on it, sell it, go on. That's obviously for those ones. I come back out, go to those ones, pick whichever one I want. I think it started on that one, didn't it? Go and get onto it. That's often a little bit trickier. There we go. And there we go. So we can sell them. Like I say, the cones you can move, but these you actually can't. Right, so that was by ShabaFS. Traffic warning signs. Next up, we've got the Amazon ZGB. This is the 8200. This I remember using FS15. I think we had a version of it in 17. I'm trying to remember. This is a fertilizer spreader. It will do lime now, because obviously in 19 we've got lime. We'll have a look and store it first. This is by, let me find it, the Amazon ZGB. This is by Matt26. It's a 5500 or an 8200. If we go down to fertilizer technology and scroll across, it is just there. So there's a couple of things I want to talk about this. Yeah, again, for me, options. I know I say that a lot, but so if we have a look in here, we can have it as 5500, which is 5,500 litre capacity, or we can have it 8,200 or the 8200 version. So that's as big as it goes, 8,200. Now it starts at 38,000. If you want to get the 8,200 litre one, that's another 10 grand on top. So that takes up to 48,000. Now we can change the wheel brand from Michelin to Trelleborgs. And what we can also do, I'm trying to think of the best way to show that. We can do wheel setup standard, wides or narrows. I like the fact we've got a narrow option as well. It does mean when you're doing fields that have got crops in, you shouldn't do any damage. I say shouldn't. I'm assuming because it's narrows it won't, until people kind of go out into a field and test that. It's difficult to know. Now what it does say is that's a 26 metre spread on that, and it will do lime and fertilizer. So if we look at the ones that are in game already, the Bradale K105 is kind of the same ballpark. That's 38,000, that's 39,000. Difference is here with the Bradale, if we go up small and up to the big, that's a 14,000 litre capacity. The other one's only 8,000, let's say 8,200. We can change the wheel setup on this to narrow as well. And if we put the spreading disc unit on, that does put the spread out much further. So if I do all of those options, big, narrow tyres and the spreading unit, that brings it in at 48,250, which is 250 cheaper than the other one. However, if I take that off, if you look at there, it says 12 metre or 18 metre spread. Now potentially, if that is a 26 metre spread on lime and fertiliser, that's going to make a big difference, because it's an equitable price. Slight downside is 11 slots, so it's a little bit higher than these ones. These ones I think are only that one says 23. Actually, you know what, it might be better on slots as well. Let me just have a quick look at the one I've bought. Scroll across. Where's the one we've got already? Come on. Oh, it's under leased, isn't it? What's that one say? Slots 23. So actually, yeah, that one, the Amazon, is only 11 slots. That's 23. So it's less on the slots as well. Okay, so nice looking mod. Here's what we're going to do, a quick test. I want to test the spread. So what I've got is I've got one of the Bradale ones over on the hill there on my little bit of ground. I've only got a tiny little bit of ground. Because this could make a big difference. If you're doing lime or fertiliser, I'm trying to think. I think I put fertilizer in the other one. So open it up. Opens up the cover. Put it under here. I don't need to put too much in it. L3. I want fertilizer. Start. Like I say, I don't need too much in it. But I do want to test this theory. Because this is 26. So what I'm going to do is try and line up if I can the other one. Like that. I'll just hire a worker very quickly. Well, I'm not convinced that's 26, you know. Right. Let's go and grab the other one. I don't think I'm quite lined up, but let's try and line up the middle bit. There we go. Actually, I was really hoping that was going to be better than that. I really thought it was going to be suddenly massive. It's not. It's about the same. If anything, the Bradale is a little bit wider spread, which is weird because the Bradale says it's either 12 or 18 with the spreader bar. That one says 26. I don't think that's 26. But anyway, so there you go. It does the same thing. It will do fertilizer and it will do lime. It's a little bit easier on the slot count. Not as big capacity, but you do have a few options available on it. Nice little unit, something to use. That's by Matt26. What's next? Greenhouses. I think I've done anything else, haven't I? We have got greenhouses. So the second of the mods today by Not Ready, we have got over here the cucumber greenhouse. This is a nice mod. This it's kind of got an old kind of look to it. You can't get into it. It doesn't give me any option to open the door. It does say keep doors closed, so I'm assuming that's it. You're not allowed in at all. This will use, where are we? 8 slots. I like the fact in-game, well I say in-game, Giants added the tomato and lettuce greenhouses that you can install as a mod. So having cucumbers is something a little bit different to the norm. What I also like about this is the price too. It looks a bit used and that kind of thing, but if we go across to, I think it's miscellaneous as well, isn't it? Right, so it's just there, 9,000. That's all to place it, which is pretty good. Now I've got this on, am I on easy? I can't remember what I've got mine set on. That says 56 per hour. Actually, there's one way we can check this, isn't there? Let's come back out. Economy's normal, so if I put it onto easy and then we go back in, check the mod again, it's 88 per hour you'll make from it, and then on hard obviously it's going to be less than that, so 56, 88, and if we put that onto hard that's going to be less. Easy and normal and hard, back in on the mod. On hard economy, you're only going to make 14 an hour. Wow, that's a huge jump down. So 14 on hard, 56 on normal, 88 on easy is what you'll make per hour on this greenhouse, which is pretty good for a £9 investment. I quite like that. Like I say, only 8 slots to place. What we're going to do is have a look at, because there's another greenhouse mod today. We'll have a look at filling them both up in just a second. It's not a bad mod. The price is a big thing. I think that's quite cool, and the fact it's cucumbers, it's something a little bit different. So that's by Not Ready. The other greenhouse that's come out today is another tomato greenhouse. Now this is more like the old tomato greenhouse from FS17. Giant's new one is all new, fancy and whatever. This is more like the old style one. This is by Tark C007. This is a tomato greenhouse. I want to check, can we get into it? We can, so it is almost identical to the old one. It's a pity that on the new ones from Giants they don't open, but we can get in and out of it, which is quite cool. The difference between the ones on 19 from Giants is the base is a lot, it just kind of goes down onto the ground, whereas on these ones the base was always a little bit higher stood proud a little bit, but you did get the steps up, which is quite cool. Now, there are, I'd say, pros and cons. I like the fact the door opens. That's really, really cool. However, if we go into the store and have a look at this one, we've got to scroll across. We've got, so these are the lizard ones from Giants, 25 grand each. We've got lettuce and tomatoes. They're 4 slots each. If we go across to this one, now weirdly enough in the Modhub this says very cheap. That's 25 grand. That's the same price as the Giants ones, the standard in-game ones. So that's 25 grand as well. However, it's 11 slots. So you can have a tomato greenhouse by Tarksy, which is 11 slots and 25 grand. Or you can have a Giants one, which is 4 slots and 25 grand. You make the same amount of money each hour. I'm surprised by that, because when it says in there very cheap, I know people will argue, do you have any idea how expensive it would be to build a greenhouse? I get it. I'm comparing it to the one that's in game. That's the point. Placing it I found a little bit harder than the cucumber one as well. It didn't really like, it kept on saying the ground couldn't be, there we go, I've had to come quite way off that to get that to work. Terrain can't be deformed. It did that a little bit. It was difficult to find a position that would let me to put it. Let me put it. Anyway, that being said, filling them up, I have prepared something in advance, so hopefully this will work. We'll soon see, won't we? So if we come around to the front now, again, this was the slight problem on 17, only a minor thing. Because it's set up a little bit, sometimes it was a bit fiddly on the trigger. But if I go to here, I should press L3. Oh, there we go. R1 triangle. As soon as you get water, you'll get the plants in there. Although that said, is this another one where you don't actually get the tomatoes? So we had that a lot. Didn't get tomatoes, which is a bit of a pain. And then we've got the cucumber one here by not ready, so we'll just back onto that. I'm not sure how big the trigger is on here. It should come up as soon as we get close enough to it. There we go. Let's put too much in it. That's fine. Ah, that was something I did want to test, and we've just found out those bollards do have collisions. So if you are going to use them to stop people crashing into placeables and things like that, I just hit that with the shovel and it did stop me. So don't need that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the manure in both as well, and we'll see what difference it makes to the actual. I don't know, because this is quite a wide bucket. I'm hoping this will just tip and it'll be fine. There we go, it's filling up. Set that back. And we've got manure in the little trough just there. And then this one here. Swing around and I'll put it in. Just like the other greenhouses are in game, but you know, people sometimes will ask, where's the trigger, how's it work? And if you're new to the game, new to my channel, new to all of it, you may not know. There we go, that's much better. On 15, the triggers could be a little bit fiddly on these, but they kind of resolved all of that. So let's have a quick look. This is the one by Tarksy, and I think it's still got that same issue coming over from 17. It's a tomato greenhouse with no tomatoes. The plants are there, but there's no red for the tomatoes, which is a minor disappointment. It's just one of those little, you know, it's a little thing. I don't know if the Giants ones did either. I'm trying to remember. And then over here we've got the cucumber one, and again it's a pity you can't actually get in there, but the plants are green. They are growing, various different degrees. There are some cucumbers on the ground there. And there you have it. Oh no, hang on, I've missed it. I've missed this. One last thing. That wasn't the last mod. Okay, so that's both the greenhouses by Not Ready and Tarksy 007. Lastly, we have got, and if you forgot, we've got the log shield by AS Agri. Now this is, I mean, it's a log shield. It's supposed to be a log grab. I'm not a great fan of log grabs and things like that. Like I say, I generally use manure forks, but this is a front loader attachment, this one. I say that only because when you go into the store to try and find it, I went to front loaders and scroll across, and it wasn't here. I thought, well, okay, that's a bit weird. It should be a front loader attachment. I thought, okay, well, it's a log thing, so maybe it's under logging, forestry equipment. Wasn't in here either. Where I found it in the end was miscellaneous, which was a bit odd, but anyway, it's under miscellaneous if you're looking for it. There we go. Lizard log tool. It's 800 to buy, and it's only 2 slots. Now this is another one. It does say homemade log tool for loading, unloading of wood for smaller and larger pieces. Now I found personally, you open and close it like so. When you see that closing, it's a bit difficult to see from there, those forks or those prongs are a little bit high. And I found that even when you do it like kind of that to pick up a log and you close them up, when it gets to that kind of point, even if I put that right down the floor, you've still got a bit there. With some of the smaller ones, it misses them, doesn't quite catch them when you pull that in and out. Only for the very, very small bits, and to be fair, those small bits you can do by hand. You're not going to get multiple logs in this grab. This is a kind of single log grab type affair, but there you go, that's the Lizard log shield, and that is by AS Agri. And that's it. That's the mods for today. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.